Hello and welcome to Vocal Bliss. What is the best way and the most effective way to practice vocal exercises? This is what we're going to talk about in this video in just a moment.
Dare to climb boldly, brave that high peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek.
If you look in the internet, you will find a lot of videos and a lot of materials explaining to you different vocal exercises, and this is the best exercise, and that is the brand new vocal exercise, and oh, they just come up with this one and this is the best of all. But in truth, all vocal exercises are good and effective, but it depends how you do them. See, even the simplest vocal exercise, if done effectively, can give you a lot of results, whereas the most sophisticated one, if it's not done well, you will just keep reinforcing bad old habits instead of creating new good ones. So what is the right way or best way to practice a vocal exercise? There are a few things that apply to any exercise, and then there are other things that are maybe more specific to each exercise. But first of all, remember when you start an exercise, take a diaphragmatic breath, which means as much as possible keep your shoulders relaxed, and when you inhale, inflate your belly. You should see your belly come out and inflate like a balloon. And I will talk more about breathing in some other video more specifically, but this is what happens. You inflate your belly, and then when you sing, when you actually start the exercise, some sort of pressure and engagement from your belly muscles is absolutely necessary in order to sustain the sounds. And this is very important because normally people breathe only with their upper chest. So we take breaths like this, and so we lift the shoulders and we create tension around the throat, which is exactly where we want to get rid of tension. So that's one very important thing. The other thing is when you start your exercise, enunciate whichever vowel you are working on. For example, even a simple exercise like 3 notes. So like if you start E, pronounce that E. E. Don't just go E, because that will make your placement very vague and the voice is not going to come out really full. So we want a full tone, which means that all the breath that you're using becomes sound. You don't want to hear a breathy sound like E. So you have to really enunciate your vowel very clearly. This is true also for any song you're singing. Whenever you start a phrase, there has to be an awareness of really enunciating whatever is the first word of that phrase, so that you place the sound correctly, and once it's placed, it's a lot more likely to stay placed no matter what follows after that first note. So there are some things that you need to really pay attention to. And one more thing I want to add, which is also something that applies to any vocal exercise if you want to really do them well and benefit from them, is relaxation. I don't think I could ever really stress this point enough. Relaxation is key to success. In general, when people start vocal training, one of the things that they have to do is get rid of doing too much. You know, we tend to use too much energy, too much tension, we just do too much. Whereas what we need to do is relax. I remember when I was studying with my teacher, and she would tell me, you know, relax, you're tense. And I couldn't even tell that I was. She could tell just by hearing my sound, but I thought I was relaxing, but evidently there were some muscles in my throat that at the time I was not aware of that were tense. And so it's a gradual process, but you succeed in relaxing your throat when you sing if you are aware of it and you keep putting out the intention of consciously opening and relaxing. So this is really, really important. So remember, whatever vocal exercise you find out there, if you do it with tension, if you start your exercise with a breathy tone, and if you don't breathe correctly and just take shallow breaths with your upper chest, no matter how good the exercise, you will not get nearly as much benefit as if you were doing it following these simple tips that I just gave you. There's a lot more, and like I said, each exercise then has some specific suggestions that go with it, and this is totally fine. But just remember, keep these 3 things in mind, and you will already have a good advantage on the way you practice your vocal exercises, and you can rest assured that you will reap some good benefits from them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and consider also subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. And till next time, bye.